here's my take on the whole thing that we've been watching with the Johnny Depp shit that's been going on. Ready? So Johnny's friends will be coming up and will be like, oh, or Johnny's lawyer or Johnny's friends will be like, oh, we heard her doing this, or we heard her doing that, or we heard situations coming in, and we heard how she talked about and how she hit, and we would see situations where she'd be yelling and screaming and like mentally abusing him and physically smacking him. Ready? And then her lawyer, J- Johnny, hey, Johnny, hey, Johnny, did you take drugs? Johnny, did you take drugs? Have you taken drugs before, Johnny? Did you drink alcohol? Did you, Johnny? Okay, yeah, Johnny. Okay, hey. When you met Marilyn Monroe, oh, actually, when you met Marilyn Manson, when you were friends with Marilyn Manson, right? Did you guys take drugs? Yeah, you guys took drugs, right? Yeah. Oh, you want to explain to me how a drug situation happens? Oh, you want to explain to me how drugs work? Oh, you want to explain to me these things? Nah, I don't want to hear it. I just want to hear that you took drugs. And that's all I want to hear. I just want to hear that you took them. I also just want to hear that you had to go to rehab for it. And obviously, going to rehab means that you could beat the shit out of people, including a little puppy. That means when you go to rehab, it means you're a very bad person. That's what it means. And that's what that means. It means you're a very bad person, and I need you to go ahead and just admit it. Okay. So, because I want to be home for my 5 o'clock meal. Okay. If I don't get my 5 o'clock meal, I get upset. So, um, just go ahead and admit that you were doing drugs and that you all the things that Miss uh uh what, oh yeah, Miss Heard. Yeah, Miss Heard. Go ahead and admit everything that Miss Am Am Amber Heard. Oh yeah, that's her. Amber Heard. Just gotta admit that that's what you did to her, because look at her. She wouldn't be a liar. Why would she lie? Look at her. Because you did drugs, right? You did drugs. Yeah. So there we go. That's the honor. Can we just call this case right now? We just need to call this case because he did drugs. Yeah, I mean, that's literally the three. I watched maybe 35 minutes. I probably watched three 35-minute things where it's like his friend was up there, and his friend was super sweet. His friend was like, I don't want anything bad. I want this to finish out. And he's like, I just want them to go and live their lives. He's like, I don't want this to turn into anything past that. And I'm like, he's actually being really sweet, even though he knows that this woman ruined Johnny Depp's life. Because like this is what happened. And the whole thing was another thing was that the idea that they basically ruined any chance of him working with Disney ever again, which like I'm a Disney fan because I like what they bring. I like Disney Plus. I like all that stuff. But like, dude, Disney, yo, read the room, dude. Read the room. Like y'all fucked up. You guys just ruined. You guys just took the franchise like you just took literally the franchise face off of your pirates, and you're like, oh well, we're going instead of like continuing it. And the funny thing is, past like number three, the pirates movies weren't the greatest. Like number one was amazing. Number two was good. It was really good. Number three was good. It wasn't great. It was good. And then like the other ones were okay. Like they weren't horrible, but they weren't what like number one and number two were. And a part of that is because you loved watching Johnny Depp play Jack Sparrow. Like that. Let's be honest. Like let's admit why we probably saw some of those movies. We love Johnny Depp playing Jack Sparrow, and that's the franchise. And they go one little whiff of problems, one little whiff, not even prove it, and they go, yeah, we can't have you. You know, like we can't have you. No. And I'm thinking to myself like, this guy just carried one of your franchises and you just dump him without hearing a second of what he has to say, or give him a chance to defend himself, or give him a chance to legally chase it down. I mean, Amber Heard is still part of Aquaman. Like she still has her money. She's still making her money. They're not pulling that shit. Like, so I'm I'm very disappointed in how Disney handled this, and I think that Johnny they did Johnny as bad as all this other shit, because they kind of made him. Oh, I sorry, King. I just read that. My bad. Um, they kind of made it where they're like, "Oh, Disney, we're not going to touch him." Now, everyone else is just like, "Oh, we're not gonna go ahead and work with him either, because if Disney's not working with them, then we're probably not going to work with them." And then you know, like you went after Johnny Depp before you knew what was going on with Johnny Depp. You didn't ask if he was okay. You didn't ask if there was a problem. You didn't do anything to help somebody who carried the shit out of a franchise. And you know what? If there's things that we don't know about this whole Johnny Depp situation, like if there's little hidden things that we probably don't know, I hope we find out. But honestly, right now it looks like Amber Heard is a slimy piece of shit that had went into a relationship with an older man, got married with an older man, got what she wanted because she got a career in Hollywood, got paid, and then was videotaping. And if this doesn't sound like a big setup, then who the fuck are you? Was videotaping all of his private moments. So instead of like helping him and being there for like as a wife and helping and being there as a co-partner in this relationship, you decide to tape it and make this all about you. And make this whole situation about you. And you're building a case. You're building a case against Johnny Depp while you're married to him. You're building a case against him when there's no case to be built. So Amber Heard cries, "Oh, he abused me," and everybody believes her initially. Everyone goes, "Oh my god," and everyone just quits. Everyone doesn't want to touch it. Everyone doesn't want to see anything. Everyone doesn't want to go, "Okay, well, there's got to be more to the story." It's just instantly like, "Oh, well, he abused her, and it's because she said something." And she obviously doesn't have any bad history behind her. Wrong. She has a horrible history behind her. She was already there was already things coming out about her. But yeah, because she said it, he is the wrong one. Because woman said it, man is wrong. And that's unfortunately how sometimes this world works. Is unfortunate, because there's too many cases where if a woman, and this, I'm sorry if this is offensive, but this is the truth. It's unfortunately where if a woman goes, "Hey, he abused me," then unfortunately most of the time the world goes, "Oh shit, he did." And that's not like, you're okay to believe the woman and be supportive, but give both sides a chance to figure it out. And if the man ends up being a piece of shit, or it ends up being somebody that doesn't respond well, or shows what she says, then yeah, 100% believe her. But if she's already showing signs of being a problem, and she's already showing signs of being a liar, and she already has multiple people, even her parents, saying that she has an issue, why do you immediately believe it? Like, what a really shitty situation. You know, like, this shitty thing. All thing, however, the shitty thing, however, Depp also confirmed that Disney continued to sell Jack Sparrow merchandise. They didn't remove my character from the rides. They didn't stop selling dolls of Captain Jack Sparrow. They didn't stop selling anything. They just don't want there to be something trailing behind me that they'd find. We have a culture of not caring about truth, only emotion. I had a case like that happen to me. Actually, I've had a situation that happened like that as well, and it was proven false. And actually, you guys, if you guys have been in this community for a long time, you actually know the person that accused me of it, and it was proven false immediately by the people that lived with us. Um, oh yeah, Knight, I know Trundle. I know they were thinking about disactivating Trundle. Probably never supported her. Only Hollywood nuts. I would believe it. They even have him on the cover that CTRPG cover now for the series. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Yeah, no, it's just ridiculous. Like it's absolutely ridiculous that somebody cries about it and there's never like a, and that's just kind of like society in general. It's just like everybody, someone says something really wrong like that, and it's such a shock value that people just believe it to their face, to the face value. You know, they believe it to face value instead of giving the other person a chance. Like you could ruin somebody's career by just immediately, and like remember this whole thing with the end of the Mixer's lifestyle, life. You know, there were people that were just calling other people out all the time. And there were a few cases that were proven. I mean, there were a lot of cases that you're like, holy shit. And those people that got proven, those people right there got proven. And those were the piece of shitheads that should have been proven. But a couple people were called out that weren't true. You know, like it wasn't true. And it ruined those creators it ruined those creators' careers. And the funny thing is, and I won't mention names because it was 3 years ago, you know, 2.5, 3 years ago, whatever it was. Um, there was one person that was from Mixer that called out one Mixer that it was a woman called out a man, said that he had sexually abused her at a convention. This whole thing made this whole charade. Absolutely made this whole charade. Went ridiculous, and they canceled him. They literally said, "Oh no, that's it. No, he no, stop showing up." A whole bunch of things happened to this whole big thing blew up. Again, I'm not going into details, so no one hunts him down. I'm not this. The point isn't to hunt that him hunt him down. But it was proven that he wasn't even at the convention. The convention was actually away, but the moment, because there was so much fire going on, um, and everyone was raising up in arms, they immediately believed the situation. And I get it. Everyone's on fire. Everybody wants to, you know, fight these people that are actually abusing. And this girl made a big charade of it, so people were immediately to believe her. And I understand, again, it's a very difficult situation because of all the things that are going on. But the problem was, no one went after and tried to figure out what really went on with him. They just decided that they were just going to cancel him and fight him. And anything that he said afterwards was mute point, because his posts would be like bombarded with people calling him abuser. And then he proved that he was able to prove that he was not at the convention that was said. And what happened was, the girl didn't get any backlash. Maybe like a small smack of the hand, but he doesn't stream anymore. He doesn't create content anymore. It ruined everything for him. It ruined everything for him. He doesn't do anything anymore. I've spoken to him a few times, but this is something that, like, she never received any punishment for being a liar or anything of that sort. And this could happen man to woman, woman to man. This isn't targeting a gender or anything like that. This is more like a story that I know. And unfortunately, it relates to the situation that is going on with Johnny Depp. But the idea that she never received any backlash. In fact, she went on to actually continue to stream, and I think still continues, and actually might have grabbed partnership somewhere, but I'm not sure. But the idea that nothing ever happened, and nothing ever, you know, nothing ever worked in that situation. It just sucks because that he was the recipient of that. So I feel like this is what happened to Johnny. He lost a lot of things that maybe he might have lost. He might have lost his whole, I don't know. He might have lost his whole career. Who knows? Because after this, I mean, people are gonna be so. Oh well, you know. Let's not. Johnny was in a legal battle now. There's always gonna be like some type of excuse. You know, this might have been the end of Johnny Depp. Um, and that sucks because he's such a good actor, and he makes the characters that he plays, and it just sucks to continue to hear that situations like these are being expressed without people looking into both sides first, you know. um if there's like a definite oh my god situation where it is like everyone and there's a definite evidence against it, okay, completely understand, get that gone. But like if there's any doubt or if people are just using words, it's hard to like look at people and go, well, you know, that's guilty, because it could ruin somebody. Like it could really ruin somebody. It sucks. When Evil X number one left, I blocked her and everything. I mean everything. Mods banned her. If she made new accounts, then she started making the boy toys she cheated on me with for 3.5 years. I unblocked her and said that was pathetic that she did that. She didn't immediately turn around and showed that to the police officer. The police officer believed that I was abusing her. Never heard my side of anything at all. Literally said, stop abusing her, legal action taken. I had to file an official police report where they went back and got records from everywhere to show otherwise. It then put a track on them both that their content would immediately be queued as harassment. They'd be charged and jailed for 40 hours. That's awesome. I mean, it sucks that it went through the whole thing, but you know, it sucks that that happened to you, brother. That's the problem is, and that's why that's more what I'm saying too, Night, is like this whole accusation. Who knows where Johnny Depp's career is going to go now? I mean, he already lost his prime roles. People, they're already canceling his a show that was coming out with him. Like all these things just got ruined because of a selfish little brat that decided that she wanted the limelight. And where does she even think this was going to go? Like, does she really think that taking down Johnny Depp of all people, was going to get her somewhere? Like, does she think that people are just going to walk up to her and be like, "Oh my God, you were abused here. You now have your own series." Like, I don't get where she thought this was going to go. And I'm sorry if that sounds offensive. I really, it's really not made a sense offensive. It's really actually a question. Like, why does she think taking down one of the most prolific actors in our time was going to go for her? Besides bringing attention to her, I guess maybe, you know, what does she think was going to happen? Like, obviously he was going to fight back, and obviously she was, you know, this whole thing was going to, you know, go where it's going to go. Do I really want to know? Yeah, because I feel like it's just going to be, I feel like it's just a cry for attention in my defense, in my defense. I mean, because we've already, I mean, again, if things come out and she threatened him and followed through with it, that's kind of shitty. That's actually very shitty. Again, if things, and I want to say this on record right now, if things turn around and there it does end up being a situation where Johnny Depp did abuse her, I will full on turn heel and apologize 100%. Like in this situation, if I am wrong in this situation, I will admit that I was wrong, and I will immediately go, okay, and I was wrong. I thought Johnny Depp was different, but there it is. But the idea is right now, as it stands, all it looks like is she cried wolf and is crying for attention. And now that the wolf showed up and wants to eat her, now she's crying to try to get herself out of it. You know what I mean? 25 billion got burned because Johnny Depp brought the rights to Secret World, and other scrolls now another can be made because of head of BS, and only one deserving cancel. She just doesn't deserve to be in the place she is at anymore. I mean, this whole thing, and you know what the funny thing is too, and this is gonna really suck to say this. It was actually in court. She was threatening him, and he told her to go for it. The funny thing about this whole thing is, they say that, oh, well, this carries with it a jail sentence. It's Hollywood. I don't see either of them going to jail. Like, even if this turns around and, you know, this whole situation happens and Johnny Depp ends up coming, which again, I don't think it is. I don't think anywhere close. I think she's the abuser. I think she's the situation. I think she's the problem. But um I think neither of them will go to jail. And I think it'll be a situation where whoever loses will have to um they'll have to pay a lot of money. You know what I mean? They'll have to pay a lot of money, and that's kind of like where the situation will stop. They'll pay a lot of money, Maybe, maybe some type of service. I mean, have you seen what Johnny Depp has done for children's hospitals? Like, he shows up at children's hospitals dressed as fucking Jack Sparrow and treats these children like nothing else. Like, treats them like gods. Treats them like the sweetest, kindest, most amazing ever. Like, there's not. I watched two of those videos so far, and both times I'm just like blown away by how just humanizing he is. Like, these kids, these kids are in such dire situations, and he goes in there, and I love it because he doesn't talk about, oh, you have this or you have that, or he doesn't like make them feel bad about what's going on with the present. He provides a fantasy view. Like, he provides this fantasy where this character that he plays is real and makes them smile and laugh and love. And like, if that doesn't make you love who that person is, I don't know what else can. Like, this man is trying to make the world a better place in his own way. Um and like, how dare somebody go after him and try to fuck with that? So shitty. Like, he did it on his own. Yeah, he did it on his own. He literally called up one of the hospitals and goes, "Hey, would you be okay with me coming in?" He showed up at, I think it was a St. Jude. Oh, actually, let me tell you, by the way, most of the Marvel characters have showed up at like St. Jude on their own, and I love that. I love that. I freaking love that. But yeah, he shows up at St. Jude, I think it was the hospital was, and he does it on his own time. Like, he literally goes to do it. He doesn't get paid. He's not getting paid for St. Jude to show up. He's showing up to provide entertainment and put smiles on not just the kids and the staff's face, but everybody around them. Like, give the parents an amazing moment where they're stressed about what's going to happen to their child, and in walks this prolific character that their child loves, and you get to see this happiness that like this just beautiful, amazing laughing from a kid that's been like suffering and everything. Like, I love St. Jude. I fucking love St. Jude to death. Like, to death. Um and you're like, you want to fight a person like that? You want to fucking fight somebody? Like, that's why I hate what's going on. That's why I hate Amber Heard. And I don't like using hate. I hate Amber Heard. And I swear I will never watch anything with her in it. And I know that's like, okay, wow, one view. And I hope that no one does. I hope no one watches anything that she's in it. I hope there's a general protest against anything that she's in. I love Jason Momoa. I'm sorry. Like, if situation happens and she gets convicted, guilty, I hope he goes, I'm not. He goes, don't release it. I'm not being there. I hope that whole staff goes, I'm not being there. I hope they push against the studio. I hope her career is ruined. I hope she gets kicked out of Hollywood and never gets to show another speck anywhere in that situation. I hope she has to go back and she has to clean septic tanks for the rest of her fucking life. God bless you if you do that as a living, by the way. But I hope she has to do it without gloves and without clothing. She has to do it with her tongue and her hands. I hope that's what she has to do for the rest of her life. I really do, for being as shitty of a person as she is right now. I hope that's what her fate is. That's what the judge should be like. You have to clean my toilet every night after a Taco Bell shit with your tongue. And I don't use bidets, so you better get in there too. There you go. Sorry. I went a little crazy there. I'm sorry. But I mean, there's a lot of I've said I said before is this he would walk. I mean, I really do hope there's a mass exodus of Amber Heard. I really do. I hope there's a mass no, I'm never working with her. I hope everyone agrees to not work with her never again. And any of these people that are supporting her right now, oh, I hope you guys get